So today we're going to be updating all of my journals. So we've got my diary, we've got my bujo, my commissions journal, my video journal, and my Artist of Life workbook for 2021, and then the new one for 2022. And so where do I begin? I think I'm gonna start with my Artist of Life workbook. Step 1 is reviewing my goals for 2021 and what I accomplished and didn't accomplish, and then filling out the final section of the workbook that focuses on reviewing and analyzing the past year and planning for the next. I feel like 2021 was a struggle of a year, and I didn't accomplish nearly half of what I wanted to, especially the biggest and most important goals. I did have a few things I felt like I could be proud of, like making my YouTube channels public, which took a lot of courage for me, and completing the Cute Little Dance project after 4 long years of working on it. Okay, so now that that's finished, let's do the 2022. I got the peach one. I was really tempted to get the mint. It would match my phone. The mint one would have looked nicer on my shelf since it kind of clashes with the purple and the yellow one, but it's okay. So I think for simplicity's sake, I feel like I already did this at the end though. Like highlights and accomplishments, what worked in 2021, what didn't work. I kind of feel like I already did that. I literally just did it, basically. So like what I learned, how my life, well, there's some extra questions, but I used my 2021 workbook to basically copy my answers over into the 2022 version and quickly filled out the questions about last year that were new, as well as the health and wellness questions for this year. I was in the middle of filming the goals page for 2022 and my very curious aunt interrupted.
Well, you have that. Are you filming yourself writing?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Thank you. I've been making YouTube videos and stuff.
Oh, and it's on your, like, is it English or is it your...
Oh, it's English, yeah. Right now, yeah.
Oh. That's really interesting.
Oh, thank you. She spent the next 15 minutes asking me questions. This was filmed on New Year's Day, and I typically don't film videos when we have family or friends visiting, but it was too cloudy and dark outside to have adequate light to film in my bedroom, so I had to film upstairs at the kitchen table instead. I skipped the first half of the workbook that focuses on self-reflection and discovery, and I'll be talking more about that in a separate video I plan to do sometime this spring, reviewing the Artist of Life workbook series. I went straight into the first quarter planning pages to write my goals and plans for the next 3 months, and then realized I'd gone past the page to write my goals for 2022, so I went back to do that before flipping back and continuing. After planning out the projects and goals I'll be working on for the next 3 months, it's time to plan for January specifically. This is always my favorite part of every month. I'm always so filled with excitement and hope for the new month to come. It feels like a clean slate, like a fresh start. After finishing my January planning, I moved on to my video journal. This is basically a journal I use to keep track of my YouTube content, the videos I'm currently filming and editing, the videos I plan to make, brainstorming pages, and calendar pages where I plan out my filming, editing, and upload schedules for each month. Next up was my art sales journal that didn't take too long to update since I rarely sell anything. I'm currently taking a much needed break from commissions, so I basically made a list of people who are on my waiting list for when I return to commissions, and made notes about those who had canceled, as well as marking off commissions that had been completed and paid for. As I mentioned in my bullet journal flip through video for 2021, I decided not to continue bullet journaling in 2022, so we'll be skipping the Bujo update this time. At the time of filming, I still didn't have a replacement for my diary, but I did buy 2 new journals that day, so I had to wait until both of those arrived to decide which one I was using in 2022. I didn't plan it, but the pink one, the cherry blossom one, really matches my Artist of Life workbook. But the thing is I don't know what Eileen's gonna do for 2023, so it's like, what if my 2023 Artist of Life workbook doesn't match my journal next year? Because my 2022 journal and the Artist of Life workbook match really nicely if they're both in the pink tones. So I'm gonna get obsessed with that, and then I'm gonna be upset when they don't match in 2023. I'm gonna have to figure it out when I get to it, I guess. Just go with what feels right now and deal with it later. I ended up choosing this really pretty journal with cherry blossoms on it. The pink color matched almost perfectly to my Artist of Life workbook, so I figured I'd save the other journal I bought for next year. I really love the gold detailing on this one. It's subtle and delicate, and the colors are very feminine and pretty. It has gold lining the edges of the pages, which is a really nice touch. Over the last few years, I've found it hard to fill out my smaller journals as I have long periods of time where I don't write much, but this year I'm hoping to get back into writing more consistently. So far, I'm about 1/3 of the way through the book as we enter March, and I'm worried I'll actually fill it up long before December comes. With my diary in 2022 started, I'm now finished with my New Year's journal updates. I'll be uploading lots of journaling content starting in the spring, so if art and J-pop journals sound like your thing, feel free to subscribe.